Good morning, everyone. I'm back for another full and fun streaming week with multiple new releases. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I'll talk all about my day off. I'll talk about game news. We'll get caught up on everything I've been doing and preview this coming week. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, good morning everyone, and welcome to the show for Friday the 11th of November 2023. I'm DSP, of course, and I welcome you here to the podcast. We should probably get everything up and running, shouldn't we? So, traditionally, Fridays, or I should say whatever day it is that I begin my streaming week, is the busiest podcast day of the week. Why? Because we've got so much to recap and talk about. You know, I had my day off yesterday, and people are interested to know what I did. I recap what I did at the end of the last week. Today, particularly, I'd like to give you my final thoughts on Alan Wake 2, which we managed to finish on Wednesday night. I stayed extremely late to finish up the game so that we could start with new stuff this week, which we are doing. So I have my final thoughts on that. Plus, we have some game news and things that have been going down. Excuse me. And, of course, I'd like to talk about everything that I'll be doing this week. But sadly, yes, my cold symptoms are still persisting. And it's really annoying. This is probably one of the longest running colds I've ever had in my life. The longest was definitely the flu that I had when I was in my 20s, because that one lasted over 2 weeks before I even was recovered to the point where I felt like I go back to work. But as you can hear, the symptoms persist. I still have runny nose, clogging in the sinuses, in the throat, drippage and going down into my throat, making me cough. It's pretty bad. Luckily for me, for a week now, I haven't had a headache, and I haven't had to medicate with any kind of, what do they call it, NSAIDs or whatever they're called, the anti-inflammatory meds. But sadly, my cold symptoms just won't go away. And I've tried everything. You know, I've hydrated as much as I possibly can. I'm relaxing. I'm not overexerting. I've been getting a good night's rest every night, and it's still persisting. So it just seems like there's nothing you can really do about it besides try to tough it out. I've now had this for almost 2 weeks. It started 2 weeks ago tomorrow when I started getting like a sore throat on that Saturday night stream after Alan Wake. So it's ridiculous. Like, I just want it to go away, and it sucks because I know it hurts the streams. Yeah, it's just having to constantly clear my throat, having to blow my nose, or even disgustingly snort to get this out of my sinuses because of my post-nasal drip. It sucks. And I don't like having that in my content, but what am I supposed to do? Not work for a month? You know, it's ridiculous. So I'm doing my absolute best to fight it and feel better. My apologies. You're still going to hear it today. I'm still going to have to take breaks to blow my nose, which is hilarious. When I started, this box of tissues was full. It's almost empty. I've had it next to me for 2 weeks, you know, and it's still, I have to keep using it every stream. It's ridiculous. So, I'll do my best. I'll try to mute the mic when I can. My apologies. It just has to be done. What can I say, right? Now, before we get to talking about Alan Wake 2, before we get to talking about what's coming up this week, let's talk about yesterday, a little segment that I like to call, if I could click it, Phil's Day Off. Okay? Now, first time that I really had a day off for 2 weeks. The week before was when I was sick, and that was the day when I had all my groceries getting delivered and everything. And then I ended up doing a night stream instead. You know, I didn't really have a real day off for 2 weeks. So this was my first day off in a couple of weeks. And thankfully, I did not have to do too much in regards to, like, errands and things like that. Like, a lot of these days off, I have to run around. I have to do appointments. I have to do a bunch of things. I have to cram them all to the same day. In this case, I really only had 2 things. Grocery store and pet supplies. And that was it. So it wasn't a huge deal. Sorry, I know that's disgusting. After last week's debacle ordering groceries and having to pay extra money to have them delivered, only to have them be delivered super late and everything, I was not doing that this week. I said, I'm going to the grocery store to buy stuff. And it made sense, too, because this week, my wife wants to try out a couple of recipes that either she hasn't done in a very long time or, like, a new one. Like, for example, she makes this really good Japanese curry. And we used to have it all the time. And then we haven't had it in, like, I'm serious, like a year. And all of a sudden, we're like, dude, let's do the Japanese curry. Like, that's such a good dish. So I had to get those ingredients. I'm like, well, I want to see what they got there and pick from the shelves rather than me trying to guess online what they're going to have and try to order and deliver. And get this. Today, we are doing homemade deluxe baked nachos for dinner. Dinner nachos. Just listen to this. First of all, rather than a fatty, bad meat, we're going to do ground turkey that's going to be seasoned and fried up with some, like, taco flavor seasoning. All right? And in it, it's going to have olives, pickled jalapenos, pico de gallo, queso, plus some Mexican blend cheese. Refried beans, okay? All over I bought a giant bag of restaurant quality tortilla chips. And then we're going to have, like, sour cream on the side and stuff to dip it in, too. So I was like, we love nachos, but, you know, we don't really order them that often. We're like, why don't we make our own? And this way we can pick the ingredients that we want, right? So we're actually kind of having this really cool dinner tonight. And we've never done this before. We never made our own like this. But that's what I mean, like having to going to the supermarket and picking these ingredients out while I was there versus guessing what they're going to have, trying to order online, and then getting a bunch of substitutions or, you know, it's much better that way. So this should be pretty fun today if she does make them, because I think she said she wanted to make them for dinner today. It'd be a good way to reward myself after my first ever session of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, have some homemade baked nachos. Should be pretty good. But anyway, so, you know, that's pretty much what I did, you know, with the grocery shopping. We needed some pet stuff for Jasper and stuff like that. So, overall, I was out like maybe 2-3 hours yesterday doing that stuff. Outside of that, we actually did a little bit of house cleaning. And we did manage to get Like a Dragon Gaiden. It did show up on Game Pass yesterday. It was so weird that it never showed up for preload, ever. It only showed up once it was live and available on Game Pass. Then you could download it, but it was never, like, available beforehand to preload. So we did load it, but then my wife ended up not really feeling like playing it yesterday, so I didn't get spoiled or anything on the game. We ended up watching a lot of someone else playing Alan Wake 2. And let me tell you guys something, and we'll talk about this because I want to give you my final thoughts on the game. But the whole point of Alan Wake 2, all right, is that there's 2 protagonists, and you can switch between them on the fly. And when you do that, it creates variety, and it makes the game better, all right? We're watching someone who literally, they claimed they were going to do that, and then they proceeded to play with one of the characters only for like 10 hours, and it makes the game so fucking boring because you're doing the same gameplay over and over and over with no variety, and it makes it feel very boring. And I was thinking in my head, you know, that's exactly why Alan Wake 1 wasn't as good, because in Alan Wake 1, you're just playing as Alan Wake. It's one style of gameplay. There's no variety to it. And once you get halfway through the game and you realize this is the whole game, you get bored. With Alan Wake 2, because you have the two protagonists and because you can swap between them, that's really where it excels, in my opinion. So, what's weird about that is, why would you choose not to switch when it's a gameplay mechanic that's in there, right? So we're watching this guy play, and he's just like, not switching. And we're like, this is going to be so boring. He just keeps doing the same thing over and over. Why? I don't understand. I don't know. And it's funny because, again, so many people criticize my playthroughs, right? And they say that my playthroughs suck. And then I watch these other people, I'm like, these are way worse than mine. They really don't try to make their playthroughs interesting in any way. Imagine if I played Alan Wake 2 and I literally just played with Saga the entire fucking game and never swapped. Wow, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fun gameplay? Wouldn't you be bored to tears? So, I don't know, man, but this is what other people do, and then people say that I suck. So that's why I just don't listen to the bullshit anymore. I know that people have just been nitpicking me for years and years, because I do my best to try to give you guys variety. When I play a Soulsborne game, I try to swap weapons, show you different builds, show you different play styles, show you variety. When I play a game with character swapping, I actually try to swap the characters to show you variety. Like, that's the point, right? So, anyway. Yeah. We watched a lot of that, and, did we do something? I felt like there was one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about. Oh, I tested Modern Warfare 3. Now, I gotta call out a big bullshit story, alright? So, if you remember, earlier this week, okay, all these news stories came out about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and the news stories basically said, oh, Modern Warfare 3 is a huge hard drive hog. If you want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, this game takes up over 200 gigabytes of your hard drive space no matter what format you play it on, and it doesn't care about your other games. It requires you to waste that much space. It's crazy, right? and everyone reads this as fact and says, wow, that's terrible. I mean, why would it take up so much of your hard drive space? What a hog. That's really messed up. The whole story's a lie. Yeah, the whole fucking story was a complete and utter lie. How do I know? Because last night, I downloaded and booted up Modern Warfare 3, okay? Here's how it works. You can choose what content you want to download in Modern Warfare 3. Oddly enough, when you buy Modern Warfare 3, they allow you to download Modern Warfare 2. Why? Because it's the same game. Now, do you have to download Modern Warfare 2? No. You don't need it at all, but it's there and available. You can choose to actively download it if you want. You just don't have to. Okay? When you're downloading Modern Warfare 3, it actively has multiple downloads available. Multiplayer, Warzone, Campaign, and these 5 add-on packs. Each one of those segments I just described is around 20 to 25 gigs in size. So if you install all of the pieces of Modern Warfare 3, it's around 100 gigs. Then there's these 5 add-on packs, and they're only 10 megabytes each. So I don't even know what the hell they are. Okay? But that's what's available. So what did I do? I said, well, what am I playing today? Well, all I want to do is play the multiplayer. You know, eventually I'm going to get to Warzone. And I don't know if I'll ever play the campaign. You know, the reports are that the campaign of this game is terrible. And I'm not really caring that much about it. I thought that the Modern Warfare 1 reboot campaign was decent and good. I thought that the Modern Warfare 2 campaign was not that good. I've heard the Modern Warfare 3 campaign is atrociously bad. So I'm like, I don't want to download that. So all I downloaded was the multiplayer and the 5 add-on packs. The multiplayer, I'm not kidding you, 20 gigs. And then I added the add-on packs. That was it. And I think, okay, I take it back because there's a base game download as well. So it might be like another 20 gigs. So I think all in all, actually, I can actually tell you. Here, if I go on here. Oops, I booted the game by accident. That's not what I meant to do. If I go to My Games and Apps, and I go to Call of Duty, Manage. Okay, so right now, with the multiplayer only installed, and those add-ons that were necessary, okay? the game is 133 gigs on my Xbox Series X. Okay? So that's being matter-of-fact honest about it. Now, if I downloaded Warzone, it'd probably be another 20, 30 gigs. If I download the campaign, it'd probably be another 20, 30 gigs. But that's because they're all separate. They're not even the same product. Is Warzone the same as multiplayer of Modern Warfare 3? No, they're not the same game. It's different modes of the same game, but they're definitely not the same gameplay. Is the campaign the same? No, of course not. So, the entire story is a lie, because guess what you can do? You can boot up just the mode you want and play it. I know, because I confirmed it last night. On my day off, I booted up Modern Warfare 3, and I went to multiplayer. And, of course, I turned on all the settings, so there's no pop-ups and shit, which is good. We got it already ready for today. And I booted it up, and it worked. I was like, so let me get this straight. 130 gigs on my hard drive, I can play it. It's not 230, 260 gigs. They lied. And the answer is yes, they lied. All of these fucking websites, okay, all these news websites, they're all going for clickbait stories now. Every one of them is going for a clickbait story because they don't have news anymore. They're literally drama sites and not true gaming sites or even true news sites anymore. They just care about getting clickbait views for their fucking ads. So they all reported this false article because every one of them did it. It was like every major outlet reported this a few days ago. Oh, you need 260 gigs to play Modern Warfare 3. It's a complete lie. You download what you want, you play what you want. Sure, if you're someone who's literally going to be playing the campaign, Warzone, and multiplayer all at once, then maybe it's 260 gigs. Who the fuck does that? Right? Who the fuck does that? And the other thing is, if you're playing the campaign, you finish it, you delete it. Why are you going to leave the campaign on your hard drive? You beat it, it's done, fuck it, get off my console, right? So what are they talking about? And it really pisses me off because I'm tired of this bullshit drama news. It's not real. I'm tired of the bullshit. So anyway, I'm ready to go for today, and I did test this last night. That's why I wanted to let you know. I spent the time, I was like, let's get this going. Let's make sure this works today. And I was like, well, what do I got to download? And I get it all set up. I'm like, so it's completely wrong what they said. Like, not even close to what they were reporting. Anyway, so that's really my day off. I don't really have much else to say about my day off. It wasn't the most eventful day. At the same time, I needed a more relaxed day after the insanely stressful week to week and a half I had being so sick. It was appreciated to spend some time with my wife, watch some Alan Wake, have some food. And we ordered, of all things, we ordered sushi for dinner. My wife was craving sushi. And it's funny because she was basically saying, that she wanted to prepare for Like a Dragon Gaiden. And she's very excited for Like a Dragon Gaiden. She loves the series. So she was feeling some kind of Japanese food. And I said, well, there's various things we can order. We can get like a teriyaki from somewhere. We could do like a ramen from somewhere. But we're thinking about, like, let's get sushi. So we ordered some sushi, and we got this one kind that, it was interesting because it was salmon, but it was also shrimp tempura, and it had like mango on top with like a chili sauce. It was like a completely unique combination, and we really liked it. We thought it tasted really good. So anyway, excuse me. Yeah, that was my day off yesterday. Not super eventful. All right. If you could bear with me while I blow my nose, I'll be right back, and then we'll continue. I hate this cold. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so, before we get into what I'll be doing today, and talking about the weekend and the schedule, what I'd like to do is do a brief recap / summary of the end of Alan Wake 2, let you know what I thought about the game overall. Okay, so Alan Wake 2, first of all, I finished it up on Wednesday night after big overtime. Usually my late streams are 2 hours. This stream was about 4 hours long. Yeah, I stayed that late because I wanted to finish up a game before my week had ended, so that way we could focus more on new games this week. And let me tell you, the ending was wild. The ending was interesting, exciting. It kept you thinking. But without spoiling, because I'm not going to spoil the end of the game for those who are still playing or watching. Sadly, yes, they went for the classic horror trope. It didn't have a definitive ending. Most of these horror games these days don't do that, right? They all kind of hang on the edge of having a real ending or not. I'll tell you this. First off, even though Alan Wake 2 does not have a definitive ending, okay? It does feel like there is positive progression. When you beat the game and you get this ending, it doesn't feel like you wasted your time. I hate to say it, there's been games recently with the atrocious writing and things like that, that when you beat them, you feel like, man, I wasted my entire time playing this game because the ending is so wishy-washy, or it almost like erases everything you did as if like nothing you did matter in the game, right? So definitely not the case. By the end of Alan Wake 2, you feel like, okay, everything I did mattered. This is setting us up for something better, even though there's no real definitive ending. I still liked it a lot, okay? Now, it obviously makes it feel like there's either going to be DLCs or add-ons, or maybe even an Alan Wake 3 that later on is going to give you the real ending. All right? I don't know. If you played Alan Wake 1 had 2 DLCs, and then it had a standalone expansion years later called American Nightmare, and none of those ever gave you the definitive ending. Nope. They all added more content. They all added more story. They all explained more, but not one of them definitively finished the story. Okay? So I don't know how they're going for here, all right? But what I will say is this, okay? First of all, Alan Wake 2 is one of the most unique video games I've ever played, and I've been saying this for years now, that too many games are so afraid of taking any kind of a chance, that instead of trying to do something unique and different that will hook the audience, that will make you remember this game and resonate, instead, they all go for the same exact style. They all follow the same molds and cookie cutter layouts, right? So what is your game? Oh, it's an action first-person shooter. Oh, it's a third-person cover-based shooter. Oh, it's a JRPG. Oh, it's it's this kind of game. It's a looter shooter. It's a battle royale. And they all play the same. Okay? Thankfully, this is not the case with Alan Wake 2. This game has multiple parts, all right, that are all completely unique. Things I can tell you I have never done in a video game before. I've never once sat down in a video game and watched an interactive rock opera that told the story of the game while you were playing it. I never saw a game where you literally watch a 20-minute short film inside the game, and it's pertinent to the plot of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, never. And this game just has these unique parts to them that I'm absolutely love it. I loved it. And like I said, I will never really forget this game. This game will always stand out for these unique parts that it had, and that's great. That's exactly what you should have in the gaming landscape these days, and far too games go for that. They all go for the same. Got to follow the formula. I mean, you want to talk about a game, a 100% case in point game that's the case, Starfield. You want to talk about a game that didn't even try to venture outside of the standard Bethesda formula, and it's just a standard Bethesda RPG, and because of that, Starfield is the antithesis of Alan Wake 2. It literally has nothing memorable about it at all. Like I told you guys, when you think about Bethesda RPGs, right? Excuse me. And you think about, okay, when you think Elder Scrolls, you think, oh my god, this open RPG universe, throwing fireballs and using swords and hand-to-hand combat, all the cool, leveling things about it. Big, monsters and dragons, trolls, the Dwemer, the freaking Daedra monsters. There's all these iconic things in the world of Elder Scrolls, right? When you think Fallout, you think, oh, the post-apocalypse, bottle caps, radiation, ghouls, super mutants, armor suits that you wear. The bunkers, you think of all that stuff. When you think of Starfield, space? There's literally nothing special about Starfield. And that's what I mean, like, too many games today don't take chances anymore. They're just boring, blah, follow the cookie cutter formula, and they're not memorable. You can literally, I mean, this is my opinion on Starfield at this point. I haven't even finished the game yet, but you see the point I'm making? Starfield was supposed to be one of the most hyped games of the year. I haven't finished it yet, nor am I in a rush to. Is that how you should feel about the latest Bethesda RPG? Of course not. Obviously, that means something's wrong if someone who's a fan of Bethesda RPGs has no desire to go back to finish your game, right? There's a problem there. Alan Wake 2 is literally the opposite. The entire time I played it, I was always craving going back to play it more. I was always wondering, what's the next thing they're going to do with the plot? What's the next cool new game element they're going to implement that I've never seen before? I was at the edge of my seat the entire time I was playing Alan Wake 2. And if that's not a compliment, I don't know what is. Someone like me, 15 years a YouTuber, you would think I'd be incredibly jaded by now of these games that we play every day, and I wouldn't really find too much unique about many of them. This one is the opposite. I mean, I'm hard-pressed, really, to find too many criticisms besides there was a few game bugs in the game that were very annoying. During gameplay, critical gameplay moments like boss fights, and those game bugs really sucked that they were in there. Hopefully they'll patch those out. And of course, like I said, not having a definitive ending, I can definitely see some people having issue with that. But outside of those two things, the game is absolutely outstanding if you like suspense, thriller, horror, action, puzzle. If you want something unique, all those elements are in this game, a unique whole, right? They really make you feel like a completely unique gameplay experience, and that's awesome. So Alan Wake 2, first of all, it's way better than Alan Wake 1. Like, Alan Wake 1 was okay for the time, and the reason it was good is because they didn't really have, like, a spooky game with that kind of level of atmosphere and thriller, psychological thriller content. This game ramps it up so much, it's, like, 10 times better than Alan Wake 1. It seriously is. And I absolutely loved it. So, I hope that you guys will give it a look. The only bummer I will say, if you didn't play Alan Wake 1, there's a lot of stuff you're going to miss, because this game has insane amount of references to the plot of Alan Wake 1, to the point where if you didn't play it, you're not going to recognize some of the characters, you're not going to understand a lot of the lore and things that you find. The entire character of Alan Wake's wife, she's a main character in the first game, and she's in the plot of this, but you wouldn't really even understand it unless you had played the first game. You don't even get it. You know what I mean? So, you definitely got to kind of play the first one, or at the very least read a big plot synopsis, or maybe watch someone else's playthrough of the first one to really fully enjoy Alan Wake 2, in my opinion. But I love the game. I hope you guys will check out the playthrough. It's now complete. It's about a little over 30 hours, because I think it clocked in at 28 parts, but those last few parts are like 2 hours long each, something like that. So definitely the playthrough's around 30 to 1 hours long. It's absolutely worth a watch. If you want to see one of the most unique game playthroughs that I've done in the last few years, this is definitely one of them. This one will absolutely stand out as one of the special ones, okay? So, please give it a look, and apparently I'm being told all these things. First of all, some people are saying, oh, there's already 2 DLCs scheduled for it. And then Dab Hand is saying, so there's a New Game Plus mode being added, and the New Game Plus mode is supposed to be, you play it again, but you already know all the content from the first run, and there's a true ending at the end. I don't know who to believe, but I'm not really freaking out about it right now. Will we ever go back? If there are DLCs to add to the story, I might play them. This is definitely the kind of game where it makes you want more, right? The plot was so unique and interesting that it's like, man, I want more. I didn't get my definitive answer. I want more, right? So I absolutely would love to play more. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's any formal announcements about, what's coming out when or anything like that right now. Okay, but good stuff. Enjoy the playthrough. I know many of you now might start watching the playthrough. Maybe you're playing the game yourselves and you're watching along. It's full now. It's done. It's crazy. It's a wild ending. And I hope that you'll give it a look. It's, again, one of my favorite playthroughs in years. And I would argue probably one of the best games of this year worth watching. People always say, well, what should I watch that you're doing, this year? That's one, for sure. Alan Wake 2 is one of the playthroughs you should watch. Okay? Cool. All right. Give me 1 second. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing today. And then we got some game news. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, now that Alan Wake 2 is done, now we are free to move forward positively this week with brand new game content and finishing up other game playthroughs. So let's talk about that. Today, it is the big premiere of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I got the multiplayer loaded and ready to go here on my Xbox Series X. I cannot wait to jump in. And here's the funny part about it, all right? Earlier this year, when we were all talking about Modern Warfare 3, and it was revealed that Modern Warfare 3 is little more than an update to Modern Warfare 2. It runs on exactly the same engine. It's literally the same game with tweaks, right? Everyone was incredibly skeptical about this game, me included. I said, I don't know, maybe it's a skip for me because that seems like a ripoff that you're going to buy this game and it's going to be Modern Warfare 2 just, update. They didn't really put out a new game, right? And what I told you guys was that I was going to approach this game with the same attitude that I've approached Call of Duty the last few years. I was going to play the open betas, and I was going to see how the game played. And if it ended up being something that felt, not enough of an update, too similar to the last one, not fun, not inspired, we didn't have to play it. We'll skip it this year. And that would be a shame, because Call of Duty is a game that usually brings a lot of content with both the multiplayer and the Battle Royale. Typically, there's a lot there, right? There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot there. So, yeah, it would have been kind of disappointing if we didn't play Call of Duty this year. But we skipped it a few years ago with Vanguard, and man, I didn't regret that, right? So, I guess I was like, let's play it by ear. Let's see what happens. So I played the betas. And what I quickly found out, which I didn't even know, is that Modern Warfare 3 2023 is literally Modern Warfare 2 2009 remake. And what I mean by that is it's the same maps, it's a similar gameplay style and pacing to Modern Warfare 2, the old one from back in the day. Now, Modern Warfare 2, when I played it, it was one of those formative years of gaming on YouTube where, not a lot of people were known as gamers on YouTube at the time. And me playing this game, and I was good at it back then, by the way. I certainly was not pro level or anything like that. But when I played these games, particularly this one, Modern Warfare 2, I did good. I was always getting kill streaks. Remember the whole song, I Spawn, I Die, about the dual shotties on Dust, and how frustrated I was at how broken the game was. Everyone running around with dual shotguns, which made no sense. But then, if you listen to the lyrics of the song, I'm going on kill streaks. Double kill, right? Can't stop, won't stop, don't know how to stop. It's me getting a crazy kill streak in the game. And this was representative of my my playthrough back then. That I was playing it and doing pretty good. Even though I wasn't really a competitive player at first-person shooters, I never really have been, I did pretty darn good at this game. And I was having a really good time with it. All right? So, as I start playing the beta, I realize this feels like I'm playing the old game again. Now, it's not the same gameplay elements. Of course, we're a good 14 years later. They've added in all these modernized gameplay elements. You've got the fucking magic gun of sonar, pulse pounding going through doors. You've got the juggernaut fucking airstrike coming in. You come down, you're invincible and shit. You know, all the modern stuff. That really is ridiculous modernized bullshit. But the maps are the classic throwback maps, and I'm playing the game and I'm having fun, and I'm getting kill streaks, and I'm having a good time with it. And I'm like, wow, this is really fun. So we went from an opinion like this game's going to be a complete waste of time. There's no way we're going to get any enjoyment out of this thing. It's just not going to be very good because it's just a cheap, you know, knockoff update from last year's Modern Warfare 2. Complete 180. It's like, whoa, why is this so fun? This is actually way more fun to play than last year's Call of Duty was. Having a ton of good times. I was getting the Juggernaut summons and everything, getting kill streaks. Everyone was like, wow, you're doing so good. And I was like, yeah, I'm having a great time. You know, I'm joking. That's the thing. When I'm playing a game and I'm having a lot of fun, I start joking and I'll start, you know, laughing and doing commentary and stuff that normally I wouldn't do. Because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling invigorated, right? I'm feeling like I'm having a good time with my audience. So it really felt that way. And I played it 3 times. I think I played one beta on the PS5. And then I played the Xbox Series X beta twice, right? And during that time, I was unlocking guns. Remember at the end, I got so many kills with the handgun. I got all the modifications that turns the handgun into like an SMG. I know that sounds stupid because that is. Why would you want to turn a handgun into an SMG? But you could do that in the beta for some reason. And I got it, and it was absolutely ludicrous, but it was fun. And people were like, wow, Phil, you're back. Like now, if you get this game, you could play the multiplayer. You could start playing, unlocking everything. You could do challenge nights where all night you're just going to use a handgun. Tonight you're going to use, you know, an LMG, an SMG. You know, you could level up different weapons, try different builds, different challenges and things. And then on top of that, it's got Warzone, right? It's got Warzone, which is Battle Royale. Now, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Last year, when I first played Warzone, I actually liked it. I thought that the Battle Royale of Warzone was good at the beginning. And I had fun playing it for what, like almost a month? I think it was about a month where I was playing it like a couple times a week. And it was a good time. Then they decided, oh, we're going to do a new season of Warzone. We're going to patch the game. And when they patched it, they made it significantly worse. Essentially what they did is they made everyone so tank-like that the only way to win would be to play the shit out of the game and to become a tryhard. Learn the best places to drop. Learn where you know, by RNG, where the highest chances are for the best loadouts. Learn where to camp for the longest before you start moving. And essentially, it ruined it. It went from being like, oh, you could just play this Battle Royale and have silly fun because everyone's on equal playing field, to only the tryhards apply. And I was like, well, I don't care about it that much. I was having fun casually playing it. And how is it that I went from having fun and actually doing really well, like, all the time I was getting like top 10 in Warzone, to I can't even make like top 30 at all because they changed the entire mode, right? I was like, in the Gulag, I was always winning Gulag duels and able to be revived. All of a sudden, I can't win a single Gulag duel anymore. So what the fuck? They changed the whole thing. Why are they so stupid? You know? So I never played it again after that. We'll see with this one. I don't know what they've done in Modern Warfare 3. I'm sure it's a new map, right? So I guess we'll see how it plays and how different it is, right? But I'm definitely starting with the multiplayer because that's what I had the fun with in the beta. And, you know, I'm going to do my favorite modes. Deathmatch, or Team Deathmatch, Free-for-all, Kill Confirmed, and Domination. Those are my 4 favorite modes. They always have been. I know the game has, like, Search and Destroy and shit. I don't care. Those modes suck shit. I never like playing them. I always like the classics, the ones that you always played back in the day in the old Call of Duty. That's what I like playing. So, that's what we're going to start with today on the main gameplay stream here today. We're going to see, you know, if I can get good. And now, keep in mind, sadly, when you just first start playing, you got nothing unlocked at all. So we're just going to have to make do with the starter classes until I start unlocking things. Do my custom loadouts. I'm definitely going to be looking for your feedback. Like, what guns do you recommend that I start playing or building builds off of? Because I don't know what guns are good in this game or not. And I also don't know the trees. Remember, there's weapon trees now. Where you play with a certain gun, you'll unlock the next gun. You'll unlock the next gun until finally you get to the gun that's really good at the end. So I need your feedback on that. Like, what's your recommendations of guns that I should start with for building the weapon trees and stuff? Please share that feedback with me today as we play. And I'm going to play this as the daytime stream twice. Today and tomorrow. After that, likely this game will become a night stream exclusive game, okay? But being that it's the first couple days of playing it, I wanted to make it a major featured stream during the daytime, so it should be a lot of fun to play today and tomorrow, and then basically switch to having it be like a night stream with more narrative-based games during the daytime streams, okay? So, speaking of this, let's talk about the schedule for the week. Today, it's Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer premiering on the stream. We're going to be doing all online multiplayer, first classes, first unlocks, etc. Going for that and trying to get my bearings in the game, okay? So hopefully you'll join me for that today. Tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we continue on with Spider-Man 2. For those who've been following the playthrough, we are now firmly into the final third of the game. Yes, Peter Parker has the symbiote suit. Yes, it's giving him problems, just like in the comic books. It's starting to have its own personality and stuff. So the plot's getting interesting. There's 11 story-based missions left, plus some side content. So likely a few more streams to wrap up Spider-Man 2. So I'm excited to see how that develops tonight. Tomorrow, the daytime stream again will be Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. Tomorrow night will be Super Mario Bros. Wonder. As we get near the end of the game, we're already in World 6. So we're going to try to get as far as we can into World 6, maybe wrap it up. But after World 6, there's the final castle, the Bowser Castle. There's the final special world stages. And then apparently after you beat all of that and you get all the purple coins in the game, there's one final extra challenging stage. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through that. So we'll see. But Mario on Saturday night. Sunday, the daytime stream, is DSP versus the Internet, my react show. And finally, we're out of Halloween Horror Month. We're heading into the more Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas themed stuff. So I'm very curious to see what people have nominated for me to watch over there this week. That should be a fun show, something different. And then Sunday night, maybe we'll do some more Modern Warfare. And then maybe what we'll do is starting Monday, like the daytime stream will be Spider-Man. And maybe like the night stream will be like Mario. And then what I'm hoping to do is by the end of this week, start up with Like a Dragon Gaiden. I would love to start maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, start Like a Dragon Gaiden as a daytime stream and balance that with everything else we're doing. So, yes, Modern Warfare 3 starts the week, and then once we get further into these games, maybe even near the end of like Mario and Spider-Man, then we're going to start up with Like a Dragon Gaiden, hopefully by the end of this streaming week, like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. Okay? So that's the rough schedule. That schedule can change. We'll see what happens on the fly if we need to change it around or anything this week. Okay? Before we get to news. Okay? Before we get to news. This week, guys, I'm really hoping for a strong bounce back week. You know, last week, I lost out on a lot of streaming days because I was sick. There was no Halloween marathon because of it. It set me back significantly. All right? And then we had a series of many good days, meaning people were coming and being very supportive on the streams with support and everything. And then we ended up having like one or two really slow days. And it kind of negated the help that I had had during those days where people were being more generous. And it sucked. It really did. And I think the reason is because I was playing these games that I'd already been playing for 3 weeks. And people were feeling stagnated. And I understand that. And I told you last week a lot of times, I feel the thing is about games today, a lot of these new games are 30 plus hours long. And I'm a variety streamer. I don't just sit here and play one game constantly. So it could take me upwards of 3 weeks to a month to get through a game that's that long. And it's frustrating when I'm liking the games I'm playing, right? And I'm doing a good, and then something screws it up. You know, my illness, it really did set me back. It hurt me big time because it put me not only behind on all the games I was playing, but then a big marathon that people were hyped for got canceled. So that, you know, that support I would have got during the marathon's gone. You know, people were probably saving up to support during that marathon, and that marathon just, you know, it's not coming back. I don't have time to do it. I'm so backlogged on games now, I can't go back and do a Halloween marathon after the fact, you see? So, this week, if you can support my streams, please do. Anything is appreciated. I mean, a super chat, a membership, a gifted membership, a tip, all appreciated. I would love to get things much back on track now. So, yeah, please, if you could. However, you can support the streams this week by all means, please do. All right. In fact, people are supporting literally right now, and I'm going to shout those out in a little bit. So thank you for that. In advance, we have a shout out segment I will do at the end here. Okay, I ended the show. All right, so thank you for that. All right, now, news. Ladies and gentlemen, today, we actually have some news to talk about. So let's actually jump right into the segment. I'm not even going to do an intro for it. All right. Oh, one other thing I should say. You may notice advertisements on my streams. I'm testing YouTube's auto advertisement system. They launched this about a month ago, maybe a little under a month ago. They've been pushing heavily for streamers like me to start using it. What it does is it just auto runs ads during the streams. And there's different levels you can do. There's like conservative, balanced, and heavy. I promise you guys, I will never use heavy ads. It's ridiculous. From what I'm to understand, it tries running an ad like every 5 minutes, and I'm never going to do that. I know if I did that, it would essentially really hurt my content. There'd be people who would be so disappointed because they're trying to watch and they can't concentrate because there's ads in your face every minute. I'm not going to do that. At most, I'll try balanced, but a lot of streams I've been trying conservative, and people have basically been saying that conservative ads means that it runs an ad maybe every 30 minutes. And it's like, some of them are short. Like, I think the longest ad someone mentioned was 30 seconds. But most of them are very short, like 5 to 10 seconds long. A lot of them are skippable ads anyway. I don't know what balanced would do. So we're testing that today. And I'm curious what you guys are seeing on the stream today. Like, is it any different than what you saw with the conservative? I wanted to try the balanced today because I figured it's not a narrative-based game. So it doesn't matter when the ad runs. It's not going to be a huge deal. It's multiplayer, right? So I wanted to give it a shot. So, okay, it was a 5-second ad and it was skippable. And someone said, I got a 10-second Amazon ad. You got a football ad. Were they bad? Because what gets me is that it's supposed to be balanced. And if you guys are saying that it's just like a couple quick ads, then that's not even that bad at all, right? I got 2 10-second long ads. I got a Google phone ad. I got a 15-second ad for bras. It was unskippable. Well, I'm sure you enjoyed it. Now, first of all, why am I doing this? Well, it's very simple. Losing out, being sick, hurt me a lot. I'm not going to lie. It set me back a lot, and not doing that marathon really hurt this business. It did. That's a marathon that every year I do, and it usually helps a ton, and I didn't have it. So look how low we are on memberships right now. Typically, this would have skyrocketed during the marathon, and look where we are, right? Same thing with super chats and everything. You know, what are you going to do? So what I'm trying to do is experiment with these ads to see, does it actually benefit me at all? You know, I don't have a lot of viewers. Right now on stream, what do we have, 400? I don't even know. Yeah, oh, we have almost 500 viewers? What the hell's going on? There's not, guys, just so you know, there's nothing special going on today. We're just playing Call of Duty. I don't know why you're all here. There's nothing special going on here. I don't know why I have so many viewers. But anyway, I don't get a lot of viewers. So with the amount of viewers that I get, you know, is it even beneficial? Would I even get anything out of these ads on the streams? I literally don't know. I have no idea. But I'm demoing it. I figure, you know, give it a few days, maybe a week of testing, and then maybe I'll have some data I can look at and say, gee, did I actually make anything on this? Did it make sense? And did it hurt the views? Did it hurt the stream? Are people upset that these ads automatically run at set intervals? Or is it not that big of a deal? Because if it's not that big of a deal, then I might as well just leave it on, right? But if it is a big deal and it's bothering you guys, I don't want to do it. So this is all a test for everyone, okay? So let's see what happens. Please give me feedback this week on this, okay? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to game news. All right, our first story is regarding Modern Warfare 3, and it's not a good story, supposedly. Okay, according to research that has been done, Modern Warfare 3 was developed in only 16 months. While most Call of Duty games have a development window of 3 or more years, Modern Warfare 3 was massively rushed with a crunch culture. Employees were forced to work nights and weekends to complete the game. Many employees had a feeling of betrayal and felt that management broke all of their promises about crunch time. And of course, now this game has been getting critically panned because there's been news stories about the campaign is terrible. Now, I'm not playing the campaign. I'm not. So it doesn't really affect me. I'm playing it for the multiplayer and for Warzone. I'll judge for myself. I liked the multiplayer of the beta. That's why I bought it. But I get it. Like, here's the thing about Activision Blizzard. All right, this is my take. You can disagree. I said this recently. I said, do you remember back in the day, you could think of a name of a big game publisher or big game developer, and just on name recognition alone, you could trust that whatever game that this game developer was going to put out was quality. You knew that that game probably had a long development time, a big budget, a bunch of people working on it, and you knew that you could expect polish, you could expect entertainment, innovation. You always knew it was like, what is it? It's hit after hit, banger after banger that these companies would put out, correct? Now, what's happened is in the last decade, a lot of these companies that used to be way up here have fallen. Take a look at a game company like Konami. What about BioWare? Oh, shit, right? What about Bungie? Oh, my God. Wow, Destiny has fallen, right? That's what I mean. Like, you have these tried and true game developers that used to pump out nothing but quality. And now, sadly, you can't trust anything they put out. When a game comes out from these game companies, right? You're like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be shit? You just don't know anymore. You can't even really trust. And I hate to say it, I firmly believe Activision Blizzard that's the case for them. Like, they used to be one of those tried and true companies that you can absolutely trust every game they put out is going to be amazing quality, right? And then now they come out with a game, you don't even know if the game's going to work. If it does work, is it fun? Take a look at what happened with Diablo 4. I hate to say it, consensus is Diablo 4 is a huge disappointment. Everyone was hoping for a return to form of what made Diablo great, and after the game being out for less than a month, everyone hated it. Then they tried to patch it, and people hated it more. You know? So, like, what is going on with these game developers that they just don't have that level of quality anymore, right? Now, I will say this, all right? I will say this. There is a possibility that if one of these companies falls from grace, they could come back. Perfect example of this is Capcom. Capcom at one point was known for gaming greatness, fighting games in the 1990s, and then games like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry in the 2000s. And then what happened? They fell from grace. They pumped out crappy fighting games. They pumped out really crappy Resident Evils, and everyone got pissed at them, and they basically lost a lot of gaming prominence. And then what happened? They redoubled their efforts. They went back to the drawing board. They redesigned or made a whole new game engine called RE Engine. They went back to basics of what makes horror great. They started making fighting games back from the ground up, what people asked for. And now take a look at Capcom. They've got Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Street Fighter 6. They've got tons of hit franchises now that are doing really well, with more on the horizon. The Return of Dragon's Dogma is right on the horizon. They're doing really good. So you can fuck up and recover and come back. I'm not one of these doomsayers that thinks that just because Activision Blizzard right now has made mistakes, that they can't come back from it. But let's be honest. World of Warcraft. Overwatch. Oh, God. Right? Diablo. Oh, disappointing. Call of Duty. Yeah, they're heading the wrong fucking way. Now, they just got bought out by Xbox, right? By Microsoft. Will that change anything? It could. It might. It might not. But we got to hope for the best, right? We have to hope for the best because I want more games and better games from these game developers that I've played these games over the years and absolutely loved. I don't want to believe that that's it, that they fell from grace and they can never recover. So let's hope for the best. In the meantime, I've got to blow my nose, so give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This cold really sucks. Okay, continuing on. The other big news story we have today is very unfortunate, but I can't say that we weren't expecting this. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have remembered that a few weeks ago, about a month ago, all right, we had a big news story about a game engine company called Unity. And this is one of the major game development engines that a lot of companies, they license this game engine to make their video games, right? We were talking about how many major games, the entire, the mobile game, or not mobile games, the games from that Chinese company that makes the freaking, like anime-ish MMO. God, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. I played it a few years ago, remember? And I did the random pull. I never spent $1 on the game, but I got like a rare character through a pull. I can't remember the name of it now, because I haven't played it in a long time. But there's that one, and there's many games. Yes, Tencent, that's right. Genshin Impact and Tencent. Tencent, almost a ton of the games that Tencent makes are on this Unity engine, okay? Plus, I mean, tons of other games. A lot of indie games as well are made. Not Tencent, it's MiHoYo. Excuse me, it's not Tencent, it's MiHoYo. Someone said Tencent, it's not. It's MiHoYo is the game development company. So, anyway, so a lot of games are made on this Unity engine. And why was it in the news? Because they decided that this coming year, 2024, they were going to change their model of how they license their game engine. That they were going to make it so that you have to pay per every install of a game with the Unity engine. So if you're an indie game developer and someone installs your game, you owe the company money. And this is unprecedented. No one had ever done this before. It just reeked of greed. And everyone absolutely rallied against the company, saying, if you don't change this policy, we're just going to have to stop using your engine. Even if it sets us back years of game development work, we're just going to have to do it. We can't afford it. So the company backtracked a ton. And, you know, it stands to reason, like, a lot of people still are not happy with what the company is doing because they didn't completely backtrack on it. They basically just said, oh, okay, so now you only have to pay in this situation. And it's not going to account for piracy. We're not going to make you pay for piracy. Oh, but we have to prove that there's piracy. You know what I mean? Like, it's all this weird, annoying gray area stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Can you take a wild guess? What happened to this company since the management, you know, idiotically made this decision? First of all, they kicked out the CEO. Yeah, they got rid of him. Because, you know what that says? It was his decision to do this change. And because it negatively affected the company so bad, they kicked his ass out of the company. So he's no longer the CEO of the company. He's gone. All right? But in addition, here's what just happened. Are you ready? This announcement was just made internally yesterday. It was a leaked document. You ready? So I'm going to read this out to you word for word. Can I do it? I can't get it to rotate. All right. Ready? This is the internal document that went out to Unity employees yesterday. You ready for this? Guidance. We are committed to a customer-first business model. This business model is enabled by the right product portfolio, the right initiatives, and clear focus. When executed with excellence, this business model is designed to deliver faster revenue growth, improve profitability metrics, and increase free cash flow. Customer-first business model, such as charging your customer per install of your game development engine. That's unprecedented in the industry, and everyone called you collectively the greediest engine company in existence. That's a customer-first business model. Interesting. That's a very interesting statement that they started and led with there. Okay? Now, continuing on. Several weeks ago, we started a comprehensive assessment of our product portfolio to focus on those products that are most valuable to our customers. We are also evaluating the right cost structure that aligns with a more focused portfolio. We are acting quickly and expect to make final decisions over the next few weeks. We expect to start implementing the plan within this quarter and expect to complete all interventions before the end of the first quarter of 2024. This likely includes discontinuing certain product offerings, reducing our workforce, and reducing our office footprint. So do you understand what this means? In other words, they fucked up so bad with this announcement of we're changing our model for our engine. They lost so much business. So many companies said, well, fuck it. We don't trust them anymore. We're backing out. We're not using Unity engine anymore. They lost so much money. They now have to downsize their business. Wow. You want to talk about fast failure? They went from being one of the most prominent game engine developers on the planet to having to be forcibly downsized because the CEO fucked the whole company up with his announcement. This is beyond Don Matrick levels of bungling. Don Matrick, who was in charge of Xbox gaming at the launch of the Xbox One, is single-handedly blamed for the reason why the console launched so poorly, with his insanely bad decisions to bundle it by mandatorily putting in the Kinect, by also all the bad press about, oh, you have to have an online connection to play with this console, you can't just share a game with a friend, if you don't have an online connection, we have a console for you, it's called the Xbox 360. I mean, you want to talk about a bungle job, and I thought that was the worst. This now might go down in history as the biggest bungling of anything gaming related ever. This CEO is a complete fucking asshole. He literally tanked his own company with his actions. I mean, they have to downsize the company, close divisions, cut off programs, and lay off employees because they fucked up so bad. Wow. Continuing on. The exact timing of these interventions is difficult to estimate. We're therefore not providing guidance for the fourth quarter or the full year 2023. We will provide guidance for 2024 with our fourth quarter and full year 2023 results. At that time, we will also share more details on our operational interventions, which are expected to gradually improve our results. We expect 480 million of fully diluted shares at the end of the fiscal year, compared to our prior year and expectation of 488 million. All right? So basically, they're not going to make any promises about when this is going to happen. It literally could happen immediately. And imagine that. Imagine that you're a full-time employee of Unity and you've done nothing wrong and you've developed for this company and you're working your butt off and you're a cherished employee, and now because of the actions of the CEO being a complete greedy dirtbag, the company has to downscale and you might lose your job by the end of the year. Merry fucking Christmas. Wow. Thanks. Imagine getting your pink slip, your layoff notice, on Christmas Eve. Right? What a great company. What a great person. But that's okay, because I've explained to you guys how corporate America works. That CEO has a golden fucking parachute. It doesn't matter that he's hurt his entire company with his greed and his insanely bad business decisions. He'll be rich for the rest of his life. He'll be protected for the rest of his life. He'll never feel the repercussions of his bad choices. In fact, he probably went out with a bonus. That's how it works. The rich get richer, are insulated from any bad decisions whatsoever in the United States of America. I know that sounds gross and disgusting. It sounds like some kind of a movie, right? My God, this sounds like a movie with the big CEO villain. It's true. That's actually how the company works. That's how the country works. Yeah. And, you know, I don't want to turn this into a political show. As I told you guys, I don't like talking politics. But, man, I swear to you, one day we're doing it. Because this is the kind of shit that kills me. That we live in a world right now where these people are so ultra powerful and rich that they can make mistakes. And who does it hurt? Everyone below them. But they're protected from any repercussions. You want to know what should happen? They just say, hey, CEO, you made the bad decision, so now we take all your fucking money that you ever made from this company and we pump it back in so that we can save our company. And by the way, if you complain, you go to jail because you fucked up. It's your own greed that fucked our company up. It wasn't us. We're working hard to make this company work, and you made one awful decision, one greedy piece of shit decision, and you tanked the company. Fuck you. You now pay for it, not everyone under you. But sadly, that's not how it works. this guy will get away scot-free, be rich forever, be rewarded for his awful behavior. It's fucked. It's a fucked up world we're living in, man. So, I wish everyone who works at Unity the best, because it's not your fault. This world is an unfair, fucked up world. You did nothing wrong. Your company should not tank because your CEO is a piece of human garbage. But sadly, it looks like that's what's happening. And that's really, exactly, people are saying, shades of Bobby Kotick. I mean, yeah, all these CEOs, shades of Yves Guillemot over at Ubisoft, where these awful work cultures, these terrible things are happening, and we know who's in charge, we know who's responsible, and these people literally never feel any consequences for their actions. Not once. They're just insulated from life because they're rich. It's fucked. It's beyond fucked. Just look at me. I got sick. All right? I got sick for a week. I missed work for a week. And now I'm going to be suffering for it for like months on end. That's my reality. Right? These motherfuckers can tank their fucking companies. And they're rich for the rest of their lives regardless. No suffering. No bad negative feelings. Nothing. They're fine. Right now, they're probably planning their fucking vacations for Christmas in the Hamptons and out on their yachts and flying to the tropical islands for New Year's. That's their life right now, right? It's pretty fucked up. Anyway. See, Cypress says, you should just do a political show. You'll get blowback no matter what you say. You literally have nothing to lose. As much as you're right, I would never do the political show with my gaming stuff. I would have to do something new to do it. It can't be in the same spot. And at the same time, I hate to say it, I know that if I did that, all right, I'm telling you right now, here's the thing, and I've said this before, Cypress and everyone else, I'm not liberal and I'm not conservative. I'm someone who judges based on a situation. You know, where we're going, what's the right choice in each situation. Sometimes it's one way, sometimes it's the other, sometimes it's in the middle. Because I'm not polarized, you'll find, if you look on YouTube, if you look on Twitch, if you look on Rumble, if you look on, what's the other, the streaming site that everyone's going to, Kick? If you watch their content, and you're going to notice, they are all polarized. They're either all the way left, or they're all the way right. And you want to know why? Because that sells. They found a way to market that and make it that you're all the way this way or all the way that way. And when you do, you get sponsors, you get money, you get everything from one side or the other. But sadly, because everyone's become so polarized, everyone hates each other. There's almost no one out there providing an actual logical, middle-of-the-road understanding of anything. They just want to make this. And this comes going one way or the other. And that's the thing, like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that at all. I feel like I would be doing something completely different. And that's great, but I don't know how it would work. I don't know if anyone would even care. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to hate the other side. Everyone wants to think it's my way or the highway, right? Either you're with me or you're against me. That's the worst take, and that's the take that a lot of these political people are doing now. So I have absolutely no idea if I tried to do something like politics, that if it would even work. Because that's me. Like, that's totally me, is trying to analyze every situation rationally, logically, finding middle ground, finding what's best for everyone. It's not about this group gets ahead or this group gets ahead. It's about how do we all coexist and not kill each other, but also find a way to all have a level of success and coexisting. That's what life is really all about. Not how do I stomp my fucking opponents into a pile of paste and then dance on their graves like this. That's not what life's supposed to be. But that's what all these political people are like these days. It's fucked up, okay? So anyway, I hear you, Cypress. I don't really think, I really don't think that's what we're going to be doing right now, you know. But I think we'll get to it one day. I really do feel like we'll get to it one day, all right? Anyway. All right, so thank you for that. Now, guys, it's 12:20. It's time to get to shout-outs. Let's begin. We start on the YouTube side of things. First super chat of the day is from Good Morning Studios. Already talking about drama, completely ignoring that. I'm as you guys know, I told you, I talked about this last week. I'm gonna continue on with my intention. I'm staying out of drama. I want nothing to do with any of the bullshit drama of YouTube or the internet. I'm staying away from those people as far as possible. I don't care how much they talk about me and name drop me and try to pull me into their vortex of duty. I'm staying out of their duty. All right? So, no, I'm not playing with dog turds. I'm staying away from the dog turds. Thanks for the super chat, but no thanks on the topic. I'm not talking about it. Okay? Okay. K-Styles 1998 did a whopping $50 super chat this morning. Thank you so much, K-Styles, for a whopping $50 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Jay Davis with a $5 super chat. What's up, Phil? What's going on, Jay Davis? If you've been watching the show now, you probably know what's up. I got you caught up on everything going on. I'm excited for Call of Duty. BattleDuck 9000 has re-upped their membership for 27 months. Thank you very much, BattleDuck. I don't think that counts as a new one, though. No, it does not count as a new one. But I appreciate the re-upping. Now, one thing to draw everyone's attention to. I got to start focusing on members again. We dipped so many members in the last several weeks. We got to try to build these numbers back up. We're going back to daily goals. My daily goal today is 440 members. Throughout this Modern Warfare 3 stream, if you like the gameplay, if you enjoy it, please support the channel. Please become a member. Or please support the community. Consider gifting memberships. It looks like today we're going to have a good amount of viewers. So please consider becoming a member today, if at all you can. All right? Let's hit 440 members by the end of today's streams. We got Modern Warfare 2 and Spider-Man 2 lined up. I know we can get 14 members by the end of today. I know we can do it if we focus on it and make it a goal. So let's make it a goal. All right, everyone? Let's rally. Thank you. Now, outside of the YouTube side of stuff, let's get over to tips. First of all, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to... I just fucked up. I just misclicked. Shit. By the way, thank you, Plato. Plato just gifted a membership and it went to D-Man. Congrats, D-Man. Thank you, Plato. Now. Oh, my nose. I got a tip during my day off. All right. From JGB London. All right. And they said, I'm new to your channel. I'm sorry to hear that you were sick. I hope you feel better soon. Your midday streams seem to match perfectly with my evening commutes. So I can watch these on the go. It's a shame that you don't think Baldur's Gate 3 would work for your channel. Maybe sometime in the future, though. And much love from across the pond. So thank you to the person who did that tip during my day off. I just wanted to give you a shout out today, even though I don't even know if you're here. I just wanted to say thank you very much. Okay? Now. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Whoa, K-Styles just gifted 10 memberships to the channel. Thank you, K-Styles. Congrats to Royal Mountie Ice Patrol, Sean, Hardcore Fan, Lloyd Davies, Ian Johnson, Felix the Maid, Jay Kuma, Jeremy Kyle, and The Legacy, who all were just gifted a membership. Oh, and Barrel Shroud gifted a membership. So that's 11 new members, like, instantly. Thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate that. That jumps us up to 437. Very nice. Thank you so very much. I hope you guys enjoy those. Be sure to thank whoever gifted them to you. Notably, that was K-Styles. Be sure to thank them, okay? All right. Now to get to tips from today. We start off today with a $4.25 tip who said, knock, knock. All right, knock, knock. I guess I'm supposed to say, who's there, right? So thank you to an anonymous 420 tipper. Maybe there's a knock-knock joke in here somewhere, and it continues. I don't know. But thank you for the first tip of the day. Okay. Then I received an incredibly generous $50 tip from the door knocker message, flashbang through the door. Well, ow. Flashbang through the door. Ouch. That would hurt. Thank you so very much. I'm going to play you an animation. But as you can see, right now the channel is going to go crazy with the 10 gifted memberships. So I'm going to let those play out first. But let's get door knocker onto the leaderboard here with the $50 tip. Very good. Ugh. It's fucking cold, man. Ugh. I need this cold to be over, but the symptoms persist. Okay. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who were here the other night, if you remember, I want to say it was for the Spider-Man 2 stream, someone had come and done a 50 Australian dollar tip, but it said that it was via an e-check and that it was on hold for clearing. It could take several days. Guess what? The e-check bounced. Yep. So I'm actually very glad I did not count that towards that previous stream because it was a fake tip. It was someone who was trying to screw me over, and I didn't count it, so it didn't matter, and then it bounced this morning. So there you go. But like I said, luckily I hadn't counted it, so it didn't set me back, so that's good. Okay, so then get a door knocker. Once these membership messages stop popping up, I will play the $50 tip animation. Okay? But in the meantime, I received a $6.66 tip from an anonymous tipper. Phil, I love that you play the new Call of Duty every year. Your late night multiplayer streams are always fun to watch. Cool, and like I said, we will be doing Call of Duty as late night streams after these initial couple of daytime streams. We'll make it as the night shift, which I know people like it like that, but I figured first couple of days, let's make it the feature, and jump in and try to do the initial unlocks and everything before we before we get to the night stream. So, all right, you know what? I was gonna see if we can play the animation now. So is this? Let's see if this works. $50 tip animation. It does. It overrides. Okay. So thank you to Door Knocker for the $50 tip. I appreciate that very much. And there's also going to be the 666 tip animation as well. Okay. So let's play that. Thank you to the anonymous tipper for the $6.66 tip. Okay, continuing on. I received a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. You know what would be interesting DLC for Starfield? If they made Halo-themed or Star Wars-themed DLC, it would give Starfield character. I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to give that game character. I hate to say it. After, you know, having played it and not even beaten it, I mean, we're going to go back, and at the very least, we're definitely beating the main story. I promise you guys that we are going to go back and finish the main plot line. But, man, that's one of the most disappointing games of 2023. Well, a game that can make or break them. It fucking broke them. It did. Like, I literally now have no confidence in anything Bethesda puts out in the future. I feel like every game Bethesda puts out is just going to be exactly the same game over and over now. I don't feel like they're going to innovate at all. Like, they didn't even try with Starfield to innovate. They just fucking followed exactly the same formula, right? It's just ridiculous, right? Okay. I received a $6.66 tip from another anonymous tipper. It says, thoughts about Yong Yeah as Kiryu. The internet seems to be ripping him a new asshole. I don't think he was that bad, but I could have rather seen someone else do the voice. Number one, I never heard the guy speak ever. I don't know who he is. I think he does like videos on YouTube or whatever. But I've never heard his voice, so I don't even know how his voice is. That's number one. Okay. Number two, I heard, isn't it true that there is no English dub, or someone had said the English dub wasn't out yet and that they were going to add it later or something to the game? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm thinking we should probably do it in Japanese. I'm feeling like we should play the game in Japanese and hear the original voice actors. No? I'm thinking that's what we should do. But that's up to you guys. We're playing it later this week. Think about what you want. And I'm totally okay with either. If you want English dub, if it's in there. If you want Japanese, whatever you want, we'll go with. All right? I'm right. It did get delayed in English. So what are people complaining about then? If it's not even out, how could you complain? Felix Debate, thank you. Yes, I should bring this up. So, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the return of the Adpocalypse, which cometh on the 24th. 2 weeks from today, it is the return of the Adpocalypse. All right? We need more ads. So how can you submit ads for this show for me to watch and react to? Well, if you're a channel member, just go to the members tab of DSP Gaming and you have your own exclusive thread and you have priority to have your ads watched on the show. So if you're a member, post up your ads there, all right? If you're not a member, first of all, what are you waiting for? But if you're not a member, there is a public thread that's on the community tab of this channel from the beginning of the month. You can find it by typing !Adpocalypse into the chat, and the link will pop up. The bot will put it up there. You click on that link and go right to the thread to post up there. The more submissions, the better. All right? The more we have, I'd rather have way too many submissions that we'll never get to than to run out of submissions in the middle. All right? Now, one other thing that I want to do, I absolutely want to do a tier maker during our Adpocalypse event. But the question is, what should it be? I was thinking ranking, like, foods, classic American Thanksgiving foods against each other. Like, what's the ultimate food that you eat at Thanksgiving that you like more than others, right? There's so many different things that people eat for Thanksgiving. And I know for a fact that we could definitely find probably a good tier maker to rank. If you think that's good. If not, if you have a better idea, let me know. But we have 2 weeks left. So let's get the planning going. Let's think about what we want to do. It's going to be a fun day. There's going to be some drinking. There's going to be some food I'm going to order. We're actually going to bring back feasting with Phil for the first time in ages. So it should be great, okay? So, I'm excited. I hope you are too. Adpocalypse returneth soon. I received a $23.44 tip from JGB London, the person who had sent me the tip during my day off. Thank you so much to JGB. First of all, let's play your animation here. I appreciate that very much. And that's $23, so that will get us up to 94 before we even booted the game. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Now, he says, Starfield is one hope. That's the team that did Far Harbor for Fallout 4. That DLC was better than the entirety of Fallout 4. Haha. Well, I guess we'll see. See, here's the thing. I don't want to spoil the plot of Starfield, but the reason that we stopped playing it is because we reached a point in the plot where basically it makes it that nothing in the game is important. Seriously. Like, we hit this point in the game, and we're like, oh, so literally nothing else we do in the game matters. And I was thinking, like, so now I don't even know if I want to do the other faction quests and things we didn't do yet, because what's the point? The plot actually makes the game feel meaningless. So why would I want to keep playing it? It's almost like, I understand they wanted to do a plot like that. That's a little different. But at the same time, if their plot negates the importance of anything you've done in the game, why do you think that was a good plot for your game? It almost makes me feel like I don't want to play it ever again, right? Anyway, well, I guess we'll see. If there's DLCs for it, if anyone even plays them, who knows? I don't know. Now, in addition to this, I received a $25 tip from 1 Minute Man. 1 Minute Man, thank you so very much for your ongoing support of my channel and content. I always appreciate it. You'll always come by and support no matter what I'm doing. I thank you so much for that. With that tip, we're now at $119 in tips, which means it is official. We will have a hat today. And by the way, the latest super chatter, I didn't put them on the leaderboard, and that's my fault. It was Jay Davis. That was the last super chatter. Sorry about that, Jay Davis. My fault. Let's get you up there. Okay. So, what hats would be for Call of Duty today? Oh, man. We got to think about this one. What hats would fit Call of Duty? Which hat is Call of Duty best? The fake hair hat, which has camo, the blue digital camo hat, the beret, or I guess we'll just go traditional cowboy. There you go. Okay. All right. It looks like an anonymous person is doing some memberships. First of all, their name is Anonymous. They became a member. Then they gifted a membership, and that went to Puricato. Then they gifted another membership, and that one went to Atlason. So thank you to this anonymous person who is gifting memberships to the channel. That's 3, right? So that actually gets us up to 440. Now, it's been recommended that if we hit our daily goals, that I don't increase them. Because what I was doing, I was like, okay, so we hit our goal. Let's make it 450 now. But I guess people are saying I shouldn't do that. So I guess I'm just going to leave it. Guys, the more the merrier. Please, if we can get more members today, that would help a ton. I'm trying to recover from, a month of decline. It would be great to get some more today. If you want to support the channel, please, by all means. But I feel like I'm going to follow my advice that people are giving me, and I'm not going to put another level of goal there since we already hit it. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Obviously a great podcast, a great return show. Covered a lot of topics. Oh, really? King Be Cruel says, if you beat the Like a Dragon Gaiden, you unlock a special demo of Like a Dragon Infinite. The English is in there. And Kiryu in English is rough. Yong Ya likes to block people on X. Okay. Great. So what you're saying is there's a preview of how he sounds in there, and people don't like how he sounds. They're very upset. Great. Are they as upset at him as they were as the Ada Wong voice actress in Resident Evil 4 Remake? Are we all just upset about these things now? Constantly just upset? Anyway. Guys, thank you for a great show. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you hanging out and talking with me. We do have to end it because I want to jump into Call of Duty. Alright? So thank you very much for watching. The adpocalypse cometh. Please submit your ads. And I hope you guys are ready for the return of multiplayer mayhem today with Modern Warfare 3 right around the corner. Tomorrow we'll be able to talk about my initial impressions, and I'm excited for this, so I hope that you guys will stick around. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the Level 1 podcast.